I'd like to begin by reading a statement from the families, some of the families of some of the victims. On behalf of the Leslie, Alexander, and Colbert clans, we would like to address the outpouring of heartbreak, shock, grief, and support from our family, friends, and community. We are truly in the midst of the unimaginable. The losses we are suffering cannot be uttered at this time. While we know there are no answers that will satisfy the question why, we are sure of one thing: we do not grieve as those without hope. Our hope is found in the promise of Jesus Christ, and we are enveloped by peace that surpasses all understanding. To that end, our hearts are bent towards forgiveness and peace, toward love and connectedness, toward celebration and unity. We honor all of those involved in this story with prayers and compassion, specifically for the Shook family, the Lewis family, and the Adams family. As Robert Leslie would say, when peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrow like sea billows roll, it is well with my soul. If you would like to do something for the family, Ada and Noah would want you to stock the free pantries and libraries in your community. Barbara and Robert will want you to be good stewards of what you are given, leaving every place better than it was before you got there. Ada, Noah, Barbara, Robert, and the rest of the family would ask any memorials or gifts to be sent to Camp Joy, North Carolina, 918 South Pleasantburg Drive, Greenville, South Carolina, 29607, in honor of hope and the promise of eternity. The Leslie, Alexander, and Colbert families, April 8th, 2021. Folks, there's nothing more powerful that I can say today, or you can print, or you can broadcast, than the words that I just read. We have probably more questions than what you do about this case right now. We are working hard to provide some answers. Obviously, one answer is why. That is a question that we are probing as we speak with numerous investigators. We hope to be able to get to those answers and provide some why to the family, most importantly. Out of respect for the families that are victims of this, I'm only going to discuss information that has been released to them. Again, that's out of respect for the family. Also, out of respect for the family, please understand that speculation is very harmful to them right now. Rumors that spread are very harmful to them. We're trying to provide them with the best information that we can, and I ask that you do that as well. Also, the family has asked that they not be contacted right now. I would ask that the media please respect that, as they are in a tremendous amount of grief right now. So this is what we know currently. Yesterday evening at about 4:44 p.m., York County Public Safety Communications received the following two 911 calls.
7/2021, 16 hours, 43 minutes, 4 seconds.
Yes, I need to get an ambulance and marshals, I guess, heading toward an address in Rock Hill, please.
Okay, what's that address, please?
4456 Marshall Road, Rock Hill, South Carolina.
All right, what's going on there?
This is Guest on your sheet metal logistics services. I have two technicians on that location. I just had one call me screaming that he had been shot, and the other technician has also been shot and not responsive.
All right, do we know how long ago this happened?
My technician just called me literally 30 seconds ago.
All right, man, you're
And I'm in Gastonia right now. My technicians, we're an air conditioning company, and my two technicians are there. One just called me, he can't talk, he's screaming, I've been shot, and I asked him where the other one is. He said he's laying there and he's unresponsive, and he was shot also. I can't get any other information out of him.
Okay. All right, bear with me just a second. So you got two technicians on scene, both
Yes.
And you have no further information?
No, I can't get him to, he's,
I got it.
one's down.
You know what, person's name is that you had going out, that they were going to service?
Dr. Robert Leslie.
We don't know the status of their health whatsoever.
No, one is not moving, one is non-responsive, the other one is talking slurred, and I think he's been shot in the face or the head or something, because he can't talk. He just keeps saying, I've been shot, call 911, please call 911, and that's all he keeps saying.
Okay, what's the two technicians' name?
Yes.
All right, and the person's name who made the service request?
Dr. Robert Leslie.
Robert Leslie?
Leslie.
Okay. All right, so that, and who, well, got him as also the property owner?
Yes.
All right, and this is not characteristic of them at all?
No, they've been shot. I mean, they didn't do the shooting, they've been
So
shot.
I was just making sure that it's not characteristic of them to, do prank calls or anything, just
No,
drama.
no.
Nothing
No.
here, okay? And your name, please? All right, I have created some calls for service in here. All right, I have 704 now.
Yes.
All right, I've got police and EMS both on the way, okay? If you have any contact back with those people, just,
Right.
just tell them to remain there in a safe place. We do have help come to them as quickly as we can, lights and siren, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
April 7, 2071, 6:20 hours, 6:40 hours, and 46 seconds, 7 seconds. 7, 2021, 16 hours, 46 minutes, 7 seconds.
George County 911, do you police, fire, medical,
Please.
where to?
Hello?
911.
Yes, ma'am. I think we've had some trouble at 4456 Marshall Road.
What's going on, Marshall Road?
I think there's been a bad shooting, maybe 4 people.
Okay, so you think 4 people have been shot?
I believe so. I was cutting grass out in the yard and I heard some shots,
How many shots did you hear?
about 20. It's automatic. I think there's 2 outside, 2 workers outside, and, Miss Leslie's on the inside of the house.
Are you over there with them, or are you on a neighboring property?
I'm on the property, but I'm away from the house, because the guy walked out of the house. It was, I'm quite sure, I've seen him from a distance, it looked like a black guy in black clothes carrying something red out of the house. And I'm on the other side of the property now. If the police or something come, I'll go over there with them, but I don't want to go back to the house.
Yes, sir. Don't go over to the house.
Okay. I can
Do you see any of the people, like anybody outside?
I saw one laying on the ground. It looked like, one of the workers. It was the guy working for a heating and air guy. It looks like he's laying on the ground. I saw the guy running around, and I heard the popping, but I didn't realize it was shooting till I saw this guy laying on the ground.
Again, it was a 911 call, so it's a 46.
Okay?
Oh, sir, can I get your name? Sorry, I'm updating my officers. Alrighty, is this an okay phone number if we need to give y'all a call back?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. Have
Good
you,
call. Ma'am,
y'all haven't had any COVID symptoms, have you?
no, ma'am, I've had both of my shots. I'm 80 years old.
Alright, where out on that property are you at?
It's the house. If you come to the arch, I'll meet him at the arch. It's 4456.
No,
That's the road.
sir, I don't need you to meet our deputies, I don't need you to get close to the situation, okay? We don't want you getting hurt.
I'm not gonna be, I'm almost a half a mile in the situation.
Alright, I'll let them know, but I've got the deputies on the way.
Okay, you can call another number too.
Okay, alright, thank you, sir.
That's my telephone. Okay,
Alright, thank you.
thank you. Bye-bye.
April 7, 2000.
So the long beeps that you heard were just redactions of names and phone numbers that we obviously didn't want to be out there in public. So our deputies, first deputies arrived on the scene 8 minutes after that, those two 911 calls. It's a large area, and we began to assist the victims that we encountered. The first two victims, obviously, that we encountered were the two air conditioning techs who were outside the home in the driveway at their work vans. Then we immediately began to assemble a team to clear the house of Dr. Robert Leslie. Once we cleared the home, we found Dr. Robert Leslie and his wife Barbara and their two grandchildren in a room in the back of the house, all deceased with gunshot wounds. One living victim, one of the air conditioning techs, was transported from the scene to EMS, who could not make it to the area, by our deputies in a personally owned vehicle that was on the property, a truck. Shortly after arriving on scene, we requested our unmanned aerial system, or our drones, and also our canine unit immediately to respond, as well as the State Law Enforcement Division's helicopter for aerial support. Once the investigation began, we were able to develop Philip Adams as a suspect in this incident. We also learned that Mr. Adams lived close to where this incident took place, just down the road, about a quarter of a mile, maybe a little more. We were able later on in the evening to make contact with Mr. Adams' father, who lived with the suspect at the time. We were able to remove Mr. Adams and later Mrs. Adams from the home, as we had a search warrant for the home and for Philip Adams. At around 2:30 a.m., we confirmed that Mr. Philip Adams, that the suspect was deceased in a bedroom in the home. As I said before, and as Trent said, we're 22 hours into this investigation. We've gathered a lot of information. We have a lot more information to gather as to the why. Again, my two priorities here are, number one, to assure the citizens and the community in York County that an armed man who just shot 6 people is not on the loose. I assure the community that is the case. We feel like that we have the individual who's responsible for this and that he is deceased. My second priority is to the family's respect for their privacy and their grieving process. A little bit of information that I have about the suspect is that we issued several traffic citations by our traffic unit in February of 2021. Those were minor charges. And then he has some pending criminal charges from 2016 that occurred in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina. Information about those traffic citations are in your packets. I can't go without thanking our partners in law enforcement, the State Law Enforcement Division, the Rock Hill Police Department, the State Law Enforcement Division, Department of Homeland Security, the South Carolina Highway Patrol, the Chester County Sheriff's Office, and the many, many, many surrounding agencies who made contact with me and made contact with us throughout the evening to offer their assistance. We could not have had a successful investigation that we did without those folks' help. And at this time, I'll entertain some questions. Please be aware that there's not much more information that the family has been given or that we really know at this time.